So the question is this, Mr. Wilbon. Which is the more impactful return? Which makes their team better? Klay Thompson coming back in Golden State or Kyrie coming back for half the games in Brooklyn?
Well, remember, we're also talking about the number one seed currently in each conference. So I don't know how much bounce you get statistically, but I'm going to take Klay Thompson, who, by the way, I did vote for top 75, all time. I just think he's that great a player. And there's another factor that separates the two of them. We're talking about tiebreakers. It's a big tiebreaker, reliability. I mean, I trust Klay Thompson as much as I would trust any player in the league. Any player in the league the last 10 years, Klay Thompson's going to be on that short list. Kyrie's a great talent and a great player, but I'm not going to trust him to the same level.
Kyrie or Klay?
That's why my answer is going to be Kyrie, because you know the stat you just put up there was about overuse of Kevin Durant.
Right.
Not overuse of Steph Curry. And bringing back Kyrie helps that. To me, it also helps James Harden narrative, knowing that he came to play a part of a big three, and they've only been at around 20 games. And so the dynamic scorer that he is, and you never know, being back with his teammates throughout the year, he may change his mind and decide to get vaccinated and actually produce in home games. So he's the answer for me.
You know
How
what?
about you, Big Bird?
I'm going with Klay, and I'm going with Klay because of the Warriors' culture, right? He's familiar. The system is already there. He don't have to do much. He knows his role in that system. It hasn't changed in the last 5 or 6 years. So when I look at what Klay brings to that table with the Warriors and what they already have, I trust Klay to come in and just be Klay, and he's not going to disappear. He's not going to not show up to practice for 2 weeks and not call it.
Reliability.
Shouldn't someone have to say out loud that Kyrie Irving would have to be twice as good in the games he plays as Klay, based on the fact that he's only going to play in half of them? Like, I feel like I'm living in the bizarro world here, guys. He's coming back to play only in the road games. We're acting like this is a normal thing. It has never happened before.
I love Klay like you do, and I saw him score 60 points on 11 dribbles. Like, he's so very dynamic. But he is coming back from 2 really tough injuries.
Right.
He's missed the last 2 seasons due to injury. This idea that he's going to insert back into the lineup and play 35 minutes and be the Klay of old, that's really a lot to ask from a player.
Well, look, Jalen, I'm not saying he's going to be the Klay of old, but I'm saying when you look at other guys that have gotten better for them, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. So now Klay really don't have to come back and be that second option guy no more. You can wait 2 or 3 months just to ease him in because of the play of the others.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.